Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I've got a new piercing video for you. This time it's all about a nose piercing. And in case you've seen like other piercing videos of me and think, hey, but she's already done a video on that. Yeah, that's entirely correct. I have actually done approximately 2 to 3 videos on every single one of my piercings in the past. However, looking back at them, my camera was less good. Well, it wasn't the same camera basically. My setup wasn't so good, I had less lights, I just didn't really know what I was doing yet, so I figured it might be useful to just sort of redo them all and then put all the information about each piercing into one single video. A lot more useful. Except for one thing, I gotta admit, I tried, like this is my second attempt at filming this, I tried to actually change out the piercing, or at least take this ring out and put it back in so you can see how that works. It didn't work. It occurred to me that because this ring actually is quite tight on me, like I like how it looks because it really goes like right around my nostril. But I can't for the life of me get it out, save for if I would get some cutters and just basically cut it apart so I could take it out and then it would be broken, and I don't want to break it because I like this thing. So what I'm going to do instead is somewhere up here, a little information thing, I keep forgetting which side it is. But I'm going to link you back there to a video in which I actually put this ring in, so you can see how I switch my nose piercing jewelry if you want to see that. Just, you know, if you want to see that, you can find it up there, but it's just not an option to do that in this video. Sorry. But instead I will give you all information about the piercing that you may want or need if you are thinking of getting it. Also, if you want to see more videos of me, I actually mainly do makeup tutorials, at least 2 per week, and then a third video which can be a piercing related video, a nail art, or whatever else I can think of. Anyway, if you want to see all of that, you can always subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you want to see pictures of makeup and also of my random daily life things, you can also follow me on Instagram if you'd like. I'll put my name down below here, and now let's go talk about the piercing. First off, getting it done and the healing period. Let's start at the beginning, getting the piercing done. To me, like people always ask about pain, it's seriously a sort of difficult piercing to describe in that sense. It didn't particularly hurt, but I'm not a doctor, so I'm not sure what exactly it is, but I think there's like a lot of nerves or something in the nose. Either way, if something stings your nose, then your eyes are gonna tear up. That's just a fact of life. Like, it's not that it is painful or anything, but like, well, I mean, it is a needle going through your skin, but it wasn't more painful than like my ear piercings, but when the needle went through on this side, this eye really teared up. So one advice, like, this is sort of reflex, but one advice I can give you is when you get this piercing done, if you get it done, do try to either not wear makeup or wear something waterproof, just because otherwise it's just going to look slightly tragic, I guess. So yeah, that's one advice I can give you. Second, do try to think beforehand about whether or not you want to be able to wear a ring in it rather than only a stud. I don't know if all piercers ask. I got it done at Queen of Rings here in Rotterdam. But my piercer asked if I wanted to be able to wear a ring in it as well. Because if you only want to wear a stud in it, they usually try to put it a little bit higher. Because it looks nice that way. Whereas if you want to wear a ring in it as well, they put it a little bit lower just so, you know, you can more easily fit a ring in there. Because of course it does have to go from the hole all around the nostril. So yep, that's also a thing. I wanted to wear a ring in it, so mine is put quite low. And then on the third thing, I think, of the list that I was talking about. Anyway, on me they did actually sort of a metal tube in there. And then they really aimed the needle into the tube, so the needle got caught up in there and didn't accidentally nick the inside of my nose, because that would have hurt and would have been quite inconvenient. And yeah, other than that, it's just a very easy piercing really to get. It takes about 6 months to heal, at least it took that long on me. One advice I can give you about the whole healing period as well, by the way. Most of the time they put a stud in it. On me they used the labresso with like the flat inside and then the twist on top part. Which looked fine, however the downside was obviously it's got to like accommodate swelling if it swells up. So it was quite long, and when I washed my face I kept getting caught behind it. So like pretty much every single evening I just didn't remember. I used to wash my face and then get caught behind it with a face cloth and be like, ow! And I didn't learn, like I just like every single evening again I did that. So I had like this huge bump on it eventually. which only really went away when I switched it for a ring. Because with a ring you can just rub over it and you don't get caught behind it, so it's a lot safer in that sense if you're as dumb as me, especially. Yeah. Anyway, but if you want to do that completely safely, I do recommend during the healing... If you notice it during the healing period that the stud forms a problem for you, I do recommend going back to the piercer and have them change it into a hoop, just because the piercer can just clean stuff a lot better than you can at home. So there's that. So yeah, there's one other advice I can give you. And then also, they usually pierce it at 1.2 millimeters. Here in the Netherlands we work with millimeters, not with gauges. But just for reference, it's the same size that the average helix and rook piercing are. Basically the average ear piercing. And yeah, like you can keep it in that size if that's what you like. Personally, for me, I felt like it was a bit too big because I don't have a small nose to begin with. And like it just looked kind of bulky with the bigger jewelry in it. And you can always shrink it down. That's like way easier to stretching. So I put a 0.8 millimeter piece of jewelry in it and it just shrunk to that size. And for reference, 0.8 is just the average earring size basically that you can buy anywhere. So yeah, just a lot smaller. And then in terms of keeping it clean, like nowadays I just rinse it with my face wash when I wash my face. There's really nothing special I do for it anymore. It's just not needed anymore. But when it was still healing, I used to use a sea salt solution on it, which is half a teaspoon of sea salt dissolved in a mug of boiled water. Obviously wait for it to cool down to a, you know, nice temperature that you can actually take on the skin. And then you can either rinse it with it or put a cotton pad over it. And the inside you can carefully clean with a Q-tip, at least that's what I did. So yeah, that's basically all the advice I can give you about getting it and getting it healed. Now, even though I don't actually plan on changing it anytime soon, I did want to show you some different types of jewelry. For a start, what I'm wearing in it now is an infinity ring, which is basically just a ring with like a tiny little part that's open, and then you can open it up, put it in, push it back closed, and then it's just a ring. I do actually twist it at least once per day just to make sure that the tiny little gap doesn't sort of grow into the piercing hole. Yeah. That the skin can't like grow through that little tiny gap. However, no matter how you look at it, no matter where the tiny gap is, you can't really tell unless you're like this close to someone's face. So it's a ring that will always look good on your nose, like it won't look weird, which is a plus. On the contrary to the ring with a segment on it. So tiny, I hope you can see. But this one you just push in from the center or from the inside. And then the segment rests against the inside of the piercing. However, the downside is, for one, it can twist open and fall out. Like it can just sort of move in the nose, obviously. And if the segment moves, then it can just fall out. Or it can hang upside down, so the segment just sort of hangs underneath your nose, which looks mildly weird. So really, I think the ones that could just close completely just feel a lot safer to me, both in looks and in the danger of it falling out, or lack thereof. Another option are studs. To my knowledge, there's two basic types of studs. There's either the L shape, which is just an L shape, and the corkscrew, which looks like this. If my camera would want to focus, it would be very, very nice. Yeah, it's just a corkscrew. And this one you can just put in by just, you know, putting it into the hole. And then when you get to the turn, you just turn it in there. It is a little bit of a sensitive thing, like it always hurt me slightly to put these in. However, once they're in and they won't easily fall out. And if they're the right size, they'll just, like the gem will just lay smoothly against your nose, so you won't easily get caught behind it. Personally, I prefer a ring, but the corkscrew ones I like as well. And that's basically all I have to say about this piercing, I think. That's literally all I can think of. Again, sorry that I can't show you how to change the jewelry in real life in this particular video. Again, you can find it in the other video that I've linked somewhere up here. But again, I just really, like, to get this out, I would have to ruin it. And I don't want to ruin this jewelry, so just no option. But yeah, anyway, I hope this video was useful to you. If you have any other questions about the piercing, you can always ask me and I'll try to give you a useful answer. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, it would really help me out. And that was it for today, so thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!